Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Texas for both the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and the Cup Series. In the Truck Series, obviously, we're not in the playoffs, but Xfinity and Cup still, obviously, an opportunity. But in the Truck Series, we had subscriber Josh Brindley in the truck. He started in about P8 as he went down through turns 1 and turns 2 on this opening lap here in Texas. Like I said, obviously, the truck team not in the playoffs, so we don't have anything to lose, which is, I guess, a good thing here in the Truck Series. But as he came through to the final lap, Brindley had worked his way up into the 3rd position here through turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time as he came down the front straightaway out of turn 4. He would come through to finish in a solid 3rd place here in Texas. So we cut straight through to the Xfinity Series. Noah Gragson obviously in our car as he came through, starting in P10 here for Texas as he went down through turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time in this race. Gragson, just like Josh Brindley in the truck, would be able to move his way forwards as he went down the back straightaway. Still P11, but as he came to the final lap as well, Gragson had also gotten up to P3 on this final lap as he came out of turn 4 side by side with the 21 of Daniel Hemrick, but not enough there as he would come through to cross the line. Gragson goes P3 as well, so now we cut straight through into Cup Series qualifying, and we were coming out of turn 4. It was a pretty decent lap, wasn't great, but we would come through to cross the line to go P8 with a 29 flat, so a very strong starting position here in Texas as we try to decide the round of 8 once again.
Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series thunders back to Texas and Texas Motor Speedway for the running of the AAA Texas 500. They say everything's bigger in Texas. For our remaining playoff contenders, that saying holds especially true as the stakes today don't get any bigger. In 2017, Kevin Harvick punched his ticket to the championship race by way of a thrilling victory here in the Lone Star State. Who will master this 1.5-mile asphalt speedway today? The green flag is in the air, so let's go racing on PRN.
All right, we're ready to take the green flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. make up the front row going into this race, and that is our only note. One driver could punch their ticket into the Final Four once again today, just like we did at Martinsville last episode, as we're ready to take the green flag here in Texas as the green flag is out, and we are underway for the middle race of the round of 8. And now Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. lead the way as we make the long stretch down towards turns 1 on the 2nd row. It's Clint Bowyer and Kyle Busch as we go through turns 1 and turns 2 for the first time here in Texas. On that 3rd row, it's Denny Hamlin and Austin Dillon. Dillon obviously falling down the order a little bit, obviously, as the outside never gets going very well, led by Truex on that outside lane as we go down towards turns 3 and turn 4. Keselowski to my inside, and now Eric Jones to my inside as we drop down into the 10th position as we're going to exit turn 4, trying to hang on to a top 10, but now Jones edges me out for P11 as we come through to cross the line to complete the first lap here today in Texas. As we go down towards turns 1, though, we look to the inside now, the 3 of Austin Dillon, as we have the opportunity to get to the inside, so obviously we hop on that opportunity and move back up inside of the top 10 as we head down the back straightaway towards turn 3, pushing the 20 of Jones down into the 3rd turn now as he's going to look up the inside there of the 2 of Keselowski. And we will go through on the inside of Kyle Busch to take over the position as we came through now on lap 3. We had looked to the inside of Brad Keselowski going down the back straightaway. Now we're going to make it 3 wide potentially with Jones and Logano as we go down into turn 3. And sure enough, we are 3 wide side by side with Eric Jones and Joey Logano. We would get past them and move up to P6 as we came to lap 4, making it 3 wide now with Hamlin and Truex down the back straightaways. We continue to move forward now inside the top 5 behind Kyle Larson as we went down into turn 3. And we would look to the inside of Clint Bowyer and get past him as well. So taking over 3rd place early on here in Texas. Kurt Busch running away at this point, but we would fade in behind Larson and just kind of follow him. And we actually had started to close in on Kurt Busch, but the caution would come out past the midway point due to Ryan Blaney bringing out a caution, I believe. So he would have to come to the pit lane, obviously, and we would get ready to restart this race from the 3rd position behind Kurt Busch and Kyle Larson. The 2 Ganassi teammates make up the front row here for this restart as Kurt Busch tries to win his way in to the Final Four as the green flag is out, and we are once again under green. Joey Logano on my outside as it's only 7 laps to go in this first opening stage here in Texas. Behind us is Brad Keselowski in the number 2 cars. We go down through turns 1 and turns 2. Brad Keselowski, the only Penske Racing driver that is currently remaining inside of the playoffs. He has an opportunity to get into the Final Four. Obviously, he's won a championship in our career mode, so he is a 2-time champion currently. As we go through turns 3, we get clear of Kyle Larson for the 2nd position, and now we try to set our sights on the number 1 car of Kurt Kurt Busch there as we come through to complete the first lap in this since the restart now. As we would come through, though, we wouldn't really be able to get past Kurt as we came towards the white flag at this point. Still running P2, Larson still P3 just behind me as white flag is out in stage 1 as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2 for the final time here in this first stage. Moving up the track a little bit, not actually what I had meant to do, just a little bit of a mistake on my part now as Larson tries to get to my inside, but we cover him off as we go down the back straightaway towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in this first opening stage in Texas. Kurt Busch in need of a solid run to get himself in that final 4, and sure enough, he will start this race off with a stage victory. Kurt Busch wins stage 1, and we cross the line to get second, and Larson third, Keselowski fourth, and our rival of Martin Truex Jr. rounds up that top 5. So a strong first stage effort for us here in Texas. Eric Almirola rounds out the top 10. We would come to pit road for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires as well. And we would come in P2 and we would obviously, like I said, take 4 tires, 2 cans of fuel. We would exit the pit lane in second position, just where we came in as we would get ready to start P2 here for the start of the second stage. A chance to maybe have a win today if we can play our cards right. We're certainly showing some speed as the green flag is out in stage 2, is now underway side by side with the one car of Kurt Busch, who pilots that Monster Energy Chip Ganassi Racing car as we go down towards turns 1. Behind us is Keselowski, and now Martin Truex Jr. beside Keselowski as Larson looks to my inside, and now he gets cleared. Truex looking to the inside as we come through turns 2. Not a good restart for myself at all, leading that outside lane as we go down the back straightaway. Keselowski made a 3 wide with myself and Harvick, but he backs out of it now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4. Looking to the outside there of the 19 of Truex, but not quite able to keep our car up beside him now as Kevin Harvick comes through back on my inside as we would drop down to P5 on this opening lap here in the second stage. Just starting on the outside, especially at Texas, is not a good combination. The outside cannot work here. It's really just a 1-lane track, unfortunately, here at Texas Motor Speedway after the repave as we head down the back straightaway. Kurt Busch continuing to hold off his Chip Ganassi Racing teammate of Kyle Larson as we try to look up the outside again of Kevin Harvick, but just couldn't make it work now as we came through on the exit of turn 4 heading down the front straightaway. So at that point, we faded in behind Kevin Harvick for now as we came through. Now, though, on lap 4, we had actually gotten a chance to look to the inside of Kevin Harvick as we came out of turn 2 heading down the back straightaway. So now side by side with the 4 car for the 4th position as we go down into turn 3. Sure enough, we clear Kevin Harvick and now fade in behind our rival of Martin Truex Jr. And as we came through approaching lap 10, Kurt Busch had actually lost the lead to Kyle Larson, getting shuffled up to the top, and now we would go through to make the pass on Kurt Busch, and so did Truex. So Kurt Busch falling down the orders. We move up to 3rd, Larson leading, Truex in 2nd, who is really going to need a win to get into the final 4 at this point now as we came through on lap 13, still running behind Truex now as we get into the grass though, and now we get hit by Kevin Harvick and sideways we go. Keselowski right in our door as we go through turns 1 sliding. We somehow keep the car straight, but Keselowski doesn't as he goes spinning through the center of the corner, and that's going to bring out a caution here in Texas. Thankfully, no one really got any damage, so we would stay out and take the green flag here with only 3 laps remaining in this second stage here in Texas as we come through to cross the line 3 to go. Like I said, Joey Logano on my outside. Keselowski lost a little bit of ground. He, like I said, didn't really get any damage, so he's still on the track inside the top 10 as we go through turns 1 and turns 2. Only, like I said, 3 to go here in stage 2, so not a lot of time to get anything done as there's contact with the 1 car of Kurt Busch sideways, but we hang on to it now as Joey Logano looks to my outside, but we would be able to get clear of him and eventually go through to look to the inside of Martin Truex Jr. as we went down the back straightaway here, approaching a lap and a half to go in this second stage, going down towards turn 3, being very aggressive. They're getting clear of Martin Truex Jr. just about. He makes contact in my right rear, making more contact, but we hang on to it now. Truex gives us the bumper down the front straightaway. We know Truex is not here to play nice, and sure enough, he tries to turn us through the tri-oval, and now we go down into turns 1. It messes me all up, and we slide up the track, and Truex gets clear as well as Joey Logano and Jamie McMurray as we go down the back straightaway for the final time here in this second stage, down to 7th as we go down towards turn 3, a wild second stage, or the last half of the second stage this has been as we go through turns 3 and turns 4. Kyle Larson leading the way now as we get to the inside of our rival Martin Truex Jr. There's contact made with Truex, and sideways through the tri-oval we go, but we hang on to it, and we get P7 in the second stage here in Texas. So still a solid result for us. Kyle Larson wins stage 2 to pick up a extra few points. Obviously, like I said, playoff points don't matter at this point that they pick up. So we would pit for 2 cans of fuel, 4 tires, 15 cars from the back of the field actually stayed out, so we all shifted down 15 positions, and we will start beside our rival of Martin Truex Jr. for this third and final stage as the green flag is out. Plenty of time to go. If it stays green, we will make a green flag pit stop now as Truex is trying to push us up towards the wall as we come through down towards turns 1. Thankfully, though, we do keep off of the wall as we come through the center of turns 1 and turns 2. A bit of a check up there as I'm going to look to the outside, and that does not work in our favor at the moment now as we exit turn 2 heading down the back straightaway. Still approximately 40 laps to go. I think it's 38 to be exact as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4. Now making this outside line work for us as we exit turn 4. A lot of slower cars, like I said, stayed out there as we get very sideways on the exit of turn 4. That could have went very wrong very quick there as we hit 38 laps to go now as we go down towards turns 1 and turns 2. Getting into the back there, Parker Kligerman just a little bit as we come through turns 1 and turns 2. The car feeling pretty loose on the exit of the corner now as we make a big mistake. And sideways and spinning we go now as we get airborne down the back straightaway. Big crash now as we get Ross Chastain flipping down the back straightaway. And the caution will fly here in Texas. A lot of damage on the car. Usually we would DNF, but I took this as an opportunity since we're already locked into the next round. Nothing matters. We're going to experiment with kind of my NASCAR Heat 4 DNFing rules. Basically, 10 to 14 seconds of damage would hold us back 1 lap, and then 15 to 19 seconds of damage will hold us back 2 laps, and then 20 seconds plus would be a DNF. So we were experimenting this race because obviously nothing matters for us in the next 2 races. So we wait on pit lane for 1 lap. And now obviously you see me exiting, coming back up the field, so we're a lap down at this point, and we actually had the speed to work our way back through this field. Obviously, like I said, the 1 lap down, the only chance we would have in this final stage to get back on the lead lap is a caution once everybody pits, and that happens quite a bit here in Texas. So I was pretty confident now as you come through, now seeing me passing Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at this point, obviously still P39, approaching towards the end of this race, obviously just a race of my own at this point. But now you see we come towards the later portions of this race. The tires were starting to fall off. Kyle Larson was coming through to make a pass on me at this point, so we were losing some speed, which was unfortunate now as we come through on lap 75, continuing to lose ground. But we had some cars starting to come into the pit lane as we had actually moved up into the P32 now, and as we come through on lap 78 up to P22 as drivers are continuing to pit, and the caution would come out as we were now on the lead lap due to some leaders coming into the pit lane. And now we have an opportunity here. We would pit for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and sure enough, riding around this whole final stage has put us back on the lead lap in 22nd with just 3 laps to go here in Texas. I certainly like those DNF rules that I've come up with a little bit more. It's a little more kind of, I don't really know how to explain it, but if you guys do like that, certainly mention it. I think it's going to make the series a little bit better once we get to NASCAR Heat 4, obviously. Now, as we're not just going to be DNFing every time we get 10 plus seconds. It's going to be now 20 plus seconds with a lap loss from 10 to 14 seconds, and then 15 to 19 seconds of damage will be 2 laps lost. I think that will be a lot better for our career mode now as we come through, approaching the white flag at this point. We had gotten up to P14 behind Chase Elliott, actually, but I was kind of thinking just about the team right here. I know Chase Elliott hasn't had the best race for himself, so we decided we're going to just kind of stay right here behind Chase Elliott and try to push him ahead to get him any extra points that he can on this final lap here in Texas as we go down towards turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time here in Texas. So Chase Elliott hopefully will have a chance to make it into that final 4 if we help him with the point situation. Now as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway for the final time, it's going to still be a 13th place finish for us here in Texas. So a pretty solid result there after going a lap down due to the repairs on the car. So I certainly like that DNFing rule much better. It was a good opportunity to test it since obviously we had already won, so nothing matters for us in Texas in ISM. Kevin Harvick, though, wins his way in to the final 4. So now only 2 positions are up for grabs on points. Kurt Busch and Kyle Larson currently hold those final 2 spots. Keselowski, Elliott, and Truex, they're all within need of really good runs. Kyle Busch can definitely still point his way in, so we're going to see if Kyle Busch can do just that. Obviously, Kyle Busch won the championship championship last season in our career mode. He's strong every season, so we know he's going to be a competitor going right down to the end of ISM. But as always, if you guys did enjoy this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. If you guys enjoyed the new DNF kind of rules that we're definitely going to be implementing in NASCAR Heat 4, make sure you give your feedback on that. And in the next episode, though, we will decide the final 4 drivers. Only 2 races remain in our NASCAR Heat 3 career mode. It's been so many races, so many episodes, and now we're down to just 2. So I'd like to thank you all for the continued support. But that'll do it for this episode. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.